Upon his first day of retirement, Marcus Rogers made a contract with himself. I will never again work for another man or woman.
Or Todd.
Especially.
Testing 1, 2. What's up, Peter? Good to see you. Let me fix this really quickly. All right, let me get my camera set up. I'm absolutely loving this desk. All right, Peter, happy Saturday to you and to everyone else. Here's what we're going to do today. This is a pop-up lesson in our Blues Academy, and I just sent out some PDFs from the Academy to our email list at iMusicAcademy, a couple thousand people. And what I want to do, hey Dean, how's it going, man? Good to see you. So guys, for those of you who are members, and Dean and Peter are members, you guys see that I just emailed you this Get Into Blues Shapes PDF. What's up? Another member. What's up, T-Man? Good to see you guys. All right, make sure you guys like this video if you're enjoying this pop-up Saturday that we're doing. And for those of you who are new to iMusicAcademy, there are several things. We started a Blues Academy, and we actually have some more news coming very soon about another academy that we're starting. But the Blues Academy is, we're up to 22 people, I think, right now, and we keep adding maybe one a week. And it's really been amazing. So we have courses online. We have a whole community online. I teach 2 times minimum a week to this group that you're seeing here. And it's so much fun to be able to practice together, to learn together. And they have access to all of the courses, all the blues courses, and even unreleased material, and they always get PDFs. And so if you're on my email list, you guys know that I send a lot of free content out anyway. But the Blues Academy just kind of takes it up to the next level, and it's literally like investing one lesson a month with me, and you get everything. So I created a new bundle. Actually, today I finished the bundle, and it's this new Get Into Blues Shapes PDF, and I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. And also, this bundle that I decided to do has our boot camp training on blues shapes in all keys. So that's 15 shapes in all keys training, and I put backing tracks with it as well. So I decided to do this, and for this next week, this is the bundle. So in addition to all of that, if anybody who is new to iMusicAcademy and you're wondering, should I get a bundle, what should I get? I'm going to recommend this because, one, this next week we're going to be going through this Shapes PDF. And in addition to having access to all of this that I just told you about, you also have, I'm giving 1 month of access to our membership community. Now, why am I doing that? Is because I want you to experience the same thing that these guys experience. We have guys and girls that are part of this group. It's a wonderful community. I am extremely thankful for it. And they get online access to all of these courses. So they work great on the iPad, on any kind of tablet or anything. All right, let's dig into the music. And for those of you who are on the email list, I just sent out 2 charts. The 2 shapes that I decided to use from the Get Into Blues Shapes one, and I sent out these individual PDFs. Let me go ahead and pull up this book, and we'll dig right into this. I'm going to put this window up here so that you can at least see this new PDF that we created. This is absolutely brand new. And so here's, let me dig in here. Okay, so we're actually not quite done with this, and here's why. Is right here you have the shapes video, and let me just pull this up because this is 58 minutes of the blues Get Into Blues Shapes. So it's all one long video file, and what we're currently doing is working on chopping all of those up. That's what we do in all the other courses. But if you want to go to shape 1, there you go, you see that. And if you ever need to get back to the top of the index, you just click that. Look how fast this thing is. And so all of these are different things from the blues shapes, and they're all in one long PDF, which I absolutely love. All right, here's what we're going to do today. I'm going to go to shape. This is the one I sent out. That's one of the ones. Let me find the one I sent out. All right, there. Okay, so this blues shape is literally the C6 lick. So C, E flat to E, G, A, and the octave on top. Now, why in the world is this a blues shape? There are several reasons. One is that you have the spacing of an octave. Everybody needs to practice the spacing of an octave. We often play melodies and things like that when it comes to, you want to get that shape to where you can play an octave because it's a beautiful sound, right? When I play songs like Misty or these jazz songs, I'm doing octaves because it sounds really great. So this spacing here, my thumb goes on C, so whatever key we're trying to build this lick on, you start with your thumb and then you slide. This is what we call a slide key at iMusicAcademy. If you're going from the minor third to the major third, this in the key of C, you're sliding from the black key to the white key. So you use your second finger and you dig in 1 and 2, and then there's a triplet there, 1 and 2, and then, and notice that my hand is already in the spacing of the octave. See how I'm kind of opening up my hand? Now, as I'm practicing this, I'm also building up muscle memory. So listen to my very simple bass line groove. In this sheet music that I sent you guys, it actually has the 8th note bass line, 1 and 2, and so it actually sounds like this. And if you're a little bit more on the beginner side, it's okay to practice quarter notes. This is a great bass line to do as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 and 1. So let's talk about why I once again called this a particular shape. Because as you get this muscle memory, notice that it fits all within the octave, so it's the spacing of the octave, and I'm simply outlining a triad of whatever key I'm in, C, E, G, and then I'm adding that extra note, that C, E, G, and I'm adding the A there. So if I go to a different key, and I'll just go to F, which is the 4 chord of the blues, and if you guys notice on this PDF that I have, we cover 3 different keys. We cover C, and we cover F, which is the 4 chord of the C blues, and at the end we cover G chord. And notice that if I play on F, if I play this same shape, now I'm playing this same shape of the C, but up here on F, but it's the exact same motion to make this particular lick. So now on F, it would sound like this. One and 2 and then 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and then 3 and 4. And when I get to G, same exact motion. And let's go back to C for a minute. And then what I'm going to do is break this down even more. So let's talk about that. How are we going to get to where we're locking up the left hand and the right hand? And let me check the chat really quickly. Let's see who else has come in. Nobody else has come in. That's all right. It's a Saturday, and this is a very quick impromptu pop-up lesson. And thank you for the likes that are coming in. Okay, now normally I would turn on the metronome. That's one of the things we do every week at iMusicAcademy. But for the sake of really teaching this lesson, this lick and one other lick, I want to really get into the theory side of things. So for people like Dean, Peter, and T-Man who've been doing this with me for a while, you know that we're working on spelling chords in different keys and things like that. So for anybody, especially my beginners, you want to be able to learn different major scales. So this is C up to C is our C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and that has no sharps or no flats. It's all white keys. So when I go up to G major, I need to know my G major scale, which has one sharp, F sharp. So as I go up the scale of G, and this is a process, I don't expect everybody to learn this right away, but I want you to understand when you are building chords, you want to make sure you know that particular major scale, because if I want to build this chord on C, I'm using the 1 of the C scale, the 3 of the C scale, the 5, the 6, and then the 1 again on top. And if I was in the key of G and I want to build that same formula, I'm going to look for the 1 of the G scale, the 3, the 5, the 6, and the octave on top. If you understand that, and I know you three do, go ahead and put that in the chat. You have to know the major scale as you're building these formulas. You have to know that particular major scale. So if I'm going to spell or work on this chord formula in the key of F, I need to know my F major scale, which is F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. So F major has that particular scale, and I'm going to look for the 1, the 3 of the F major scale, which is A, the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the 6th note of the F major scale, and then the octave on top. You have this F, F, and F there. So notice that as I'm building, and we call them chord formulas. If I say, awesome, T-Man, if you have chord formulas in terms of numbers, I can say, all right, 1, 3, 5, 1, and or 1, 3, 5, 6, 1, so that I can transpose that in any key. And the one thing I would want to make sure is that, okay, to get this particular lick down, I slide from the minor third of the scale, the flat third, not E, but you flat it, go down by half step, to major third, right? And that's my particular shape. Now I put this particular lick into the shapes course because it is something that it's right out of the triad, which is one of the important things that we learn when we're learning about chords, is we learn how to build triads. A triad is a 3-note chord, and what this does is it not only shows us the triad, it gives us one extra note, which is the A note, which sounds great in the blues and also in jazz, but also gives us the minor third to major third sound, that really bluesy sound. Now, I want to talk about each particular note. The flat third to the major third in blues, and we do the blues scale. You guys know the blues scale. The regular minor blues scale has 1 of a C scale, flat 3, 4, sharp 4, 5, flat 7, 1. If I'm playing the blues and all I'm doing is the blues scale, yes, all of that would work, but it sounds a little bit too sort of dark, or just it's missing something. One of the things it's missing is that major third sound. So I like to add, occasionally we want to hear that major happy sound of the blues. So you have the difference between the minor, if you just did this, da, 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 that sounds fine. But occasionally I want to hear the major third. Now, what did I do there? I played the minor third to major third, and then I went up to the E flat. Now watch on G. All right, now let's talk about another note. So notice that this lick has C, E, G, and then it goes to A, which is really important because I love the sound of the A in the blues scale, or not in the blues scale, but in the blues. There is a different kinds of blues scales, and one of them has the sixth note, which we'll talk about on a different stream. We talked about it last week of Oscar Peterson liking to use a lot of the A note of a blues scale in the scale of C. So watch this. We have this, and there's your A. So listen to the sound of this. 2 and 3 and 4 and da 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 da. This is actually from Blues Volume 1. That nice sound of the A, the sixth note of the scale, sounds amazing to me, which takes you to a very important thing, which is also in the shapes course of we have two particular shapes, and I'm going to show you how they relate to each other. The first one is the first 5 notes of the blues scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I teach this all the time of you mash all your fingers down, play it all together. It sounds horrible, but each finger is over each particular note that would work over the entire blues. But you can take that same shape and you go down 3 half steps, and now you have the A minor blues scale, the first 4 notes, and there's that A note that's so important. So over the F chord, even over the G chord. All right, so you get the idea of that. All right, let's keep going with that. Let's talk about breaking down this lick, because some people, this is a little bit difficult to put both hands together on this particular lick. So if you're having trouble getting the left hand and the right hand working together, what I love to teach is slow and straight. So you can take pretty much anything, breaking it down into small, manageable goals. So I'm going to do 1 and 2. Okay, so that's the first part. 1 and 2, and then. So notice how I did that. If I'm doing quarter note bass line, 1 and 2. So beat 2 gets the C and A on the E. And 2 and then. Okay, that's all by itself. And then you end with the octave with the C and G again. One and 2 and then 3 and. Now when I go to F, same thing. Back to C, and then G, F, and C. All right, now let's keep going with this for just a minute. One thing that we have done before in a boot camp, we did Blues Volume 1 in all keys. And one of the things we've learned, and we even actually have all keys training on this these specific licks, and for Blues Volume 1, that you're either doing a slide key, minor third to major third, or a hammer-on key. Well, what do I mean by that? You can slide from your minor third to the major third with your index finger. But what do you do when you go to D flat? You can't slide to the major third. You have to hammer on. So fingers 2 and 3 will get you the minor third of D flat major to the third. And what you have to do is get up into the keys a little bit. 1 and 2. And what you have to do is learn how, and you have to practice this. You can do hands separately. Fingers 2 and 3. And there's my 1, minor third to major third, my 5th note, so there's my D flat triad, and my 6th note and the octave on top. The quick side note, Dean, it was good to hang out with you and T-Man on the stream yesterday, and also Peter, thanks for checking in about being away, and it's always awesome the way you guys check in when you're away. So I've had several people check in yesterday, tell me they're going to be out this next week, which I love to hear from you guys. Okay, let's keep going with this on the idea of the hammer-on keys. At first, you think, I don't want you to feel overwhelmed with the idea of the hammer-on keys, because the main thing is that you have to be willing to practice those, right? Practice the hard things at times. So you have minor third to major third. Practice that, and then watch what happens when I go to D. Same thing. I'm hammering on to the minor third to the major third of D. Okay, practice that now. E flat is a slide key. And the reason I can do this pretty easily is only because I've learned, and we've learned together, our E flat major scale. Right, and then our E major has 4 sharps. So now let me practice hammering on minor third to major third in E. Okay, now how do you practice this stuff and not get overwhelmed? One way to do it is do it like this. You're going to practice the key of C, which we do all the time. We call this one of our comfort keys. A comfort key is one that you feel pretty comfortable playing. You do it often. But it's good to try to go up a half step, go to D flat maybe. So now I'm stretching the idea of getting out of my comfort zone. I'm going to do D flat. Or maybe I'm going to go down a half step, and now I'm in the key of B. Okay, let me work on that. And this may be over the course of a month, 2 months, 6 months, or a year to get a different key down. I always say that if you feel like you're not as comfortable, you've been working at a while, go back to something that's comfortable for you. Okay, let me give you one other tip related to this in the right hand, and then we'll move on. So one of the things I love to do is as we learn these particular shapes, then that really frees us up to learn some more very interesting things like alternate bass lines. One course that we have in the membership area, you guys know, is Blues Alternate Bass Lines #1, right? So we have 10 different bass lines that actually use this blues example one that is our most popular lick at iMusicAcademy. It's the one that got us over 1 million views on that one video. But this was the lick, and this is the bass line. And this is actually a shape in our shapes course. Why did I put a shape? Because this is another one. It comes out of the triad, and then it goes to the 4 and the 6 note, and then the 5 and flat 7. And notice that it all fits under the hand. So when I go to F, this shape that's working all the fingers. You know what I just realized, guys? I just realized something. We're actually not, we're just unlisted. Let me make this live. That's pretty funny. Let me check on this. Close this window down. Okay. Okay, so as I'm practicing this right here, working all the fingers, fits under the hand really nicely. But you can take that same idea, and once you build up this muscle memory, then you start to put it with one of our blues bass lines, one of our alternate bass lines. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So what would what I do if I was doing the C6 lick. Let's do that again. All right, you guys get how that works. So we're building up muscle memory, learning these licks, and then you can change up the left hand and make it your own and do all kinds of different bass lines to go along with that. Okay, so the next one that we're going to do is our, once again, the minor third to major third, but let me actually go into the book for a second and show you guys that. I hope that you guys who are our members are enjoying this brand new PDF. So let's just talk about some of these things before I show you this list. I don't mind showing everybody these shapes. So we have, obviously, I love this at the beginning. We have, starting out our blues shapes, we have some new additions. We have this idea of the first 5 notes of the blues scale for both hands. I think this is such an important shape to get under our fingers, especially for beginners to intermediate players, because you're getting things that your hand will fit over all the notes. And what I decided to do was put you through a little roadmap of success for this very first example. So you would do, first you actually practice this right here, and then you go into the next phase, which is what we call automatic pilot. First 5 notes of the blues scale. Now, what if I went up a half step? 2 and 3 and 4. Now, you're really getting some work here, and know also that we did this chorus in all keys. That's another thing that's important about this blues bundle that I created, is every single shape in all keys. It's a really fun way to take your playing to the next level, because you learn this in D flat, and then you learn it in D, and then E flat, and all these other keys. And why is that important? Because if you're somewhere, you go to your friend's house and he's a guitar player and he wants to play in the key of A, and you're like, okay, well, there's my blues scale. I know I'm going to have success there. And because you've practiced these shapes, you're going to have success in whatever key they call. Okay, so look at just the very next measure does this. The next measure does this. Oh, I'm sorry, it's on the and. 1 and 2 and 3 again. Notice that it's still the same 4 notes. Let's look at the next one going down. Then you go into that thing that I just showed you, the A blues scale. So you're playing over C, but you go down 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 half steps, and now you can use the A minor blues scale. 2 and 3 and 4 and. What I love about that is it doesn't matter what key we're in. If we're playing the blues, you can go down 3 half steps and play that minor blues scale, and it's going to sound fantastic. So I can do this. I'm in the C blues, but I go down 3 half steps and I'm playing the A blues scale. 2 and 3 and 4 and. But what did I say is really nice to do is to also be able to play the major third. So you have this minor kind of sound, but sometimes it's nice to play that major third, and you slide off of that. So what if we just mixed up those two? You get the idea, right? Just two simple ideas. And we're only on the first example, and we're still going. Then you have this idea of still the blues scale, but now we have this F sharp, C, F sharp, D. And this is called, in the blues scale, the sharp 4 away is called the tritone. It's not 4 notes away, it's a sharp 4 and called the tritone. Why is that important? Because listen to this. Why is that important? Because you're creating some really nice tension with some different notes from the blues scale, but it's still the blues scale notes. Then you go down another measure. One. The very next measure. I like that. Isn't that amazing, the way that you can take one idea, totally change it however you want to? And we're still going. We're on page 2 of example 1. Let me just do a few more of these while we're here. So we have da 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 bo da da, and then it goes da 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 bo da 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 bo da da ba da da bo. Next one, da 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 bo da 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 da. Next one. Next one. I like that one. Bo da 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 bo ba. Next one. I like that too. And the great thing about this is, even though I'm playing a C blues, I can stick with the C blues scale over all of the chords, and it's going to sound great. It's going to sound fantastic. And the same for you guys. All right, let me check the chat really quickly here just to make sure we're all caught up. Again, I see we're at 5 likes now. Good job, everyone. This is just a simple pop-up lesson. I sent this out to our YouTube community, and I wanted to give them a few of the PDFs, tell them a little bit about what we're doing. And if anybody is out there and you're not a part of our Blues Academy, remember that I am, for this next week, if anybody signs up for this brand new bundle I created, it's literally less than 1 lesson with me. Not only do you get the Blues Shapes course, this new PDF, you also get the shapes course in all keys. And what this is, just so we're clear, is you have all these shapes here, and then you have the shapes video, which is underneath, and then you have, of course, all of these examples here, plus blues shapes in all keys boot camp thing that we did, boot camp style training, which was awesome, in every single key, 15 different shapes in every key, and backing tracks. And access to our Blues Academy for 1 month. That's just my gift to you. All right, here we go. What's up? Hey, Dean, I'm glad. Dean, you got it in your email, right? Just want to make sure you're checking it out for yourself. Okay, let's keep going down because I have one more shape that before we sign off, and I'll go another 10 minutes or so, and then we'll wrap it up for today. But I love how quick this is. All right, let me, before we go to the one I wanted to show you, let me show you a fun one that not only have I been teaching lately to our group, but also how I've been using this myself. I had a gig last night, and we were doing a blues in C, and the reason we were doing a particular blues is because I wrote a blues song for a friend of mine who during the COVID, during COVID, he got COVID the night of the gig or whatever. And so I wrote a blues song based on that, and it was called "This Guy, He's Got the COVID." That was the blues. It was a C blues. But the reason I mentioned that is because I was using a lot in my improvisation. I was using a lot of these second inversion triads. And the great thing about that's my favorite triad, you guys know that, but there's so many fun things you can do with that second inversion triad. And for this blues shapes course, I actually go through harmonization, like learning how to use second inversion triads. Just one example goes through different shapes I like to use when playing the blues. But the great thing about that even is that, again, we're going through it in every single key. So you learn how to use these shapes in every key. But let me give you a quick, just for fun, tip. As you're going up the scale, when we talk about harmonizing a scale, if this is C major scale and I need that bluesy sound, one thing you can do is flat the 7th note of the major scale, and that gives you what's called a Mixolydian scale. And so as I'm playing these second inversion triad and going up the scale, I'm going to make sure it has that B flat in there for a C7. And there it is again. And then for now, I'm going to use that B flat again there. But what's really nice is I also like to create tension going down second inversion triads in half steps. So that's a fun one. You can go, and now you're at A minor, and then watch this, I can go down chromatically A minor in second inversion, A flat in second inversion, and then going to the F chord. So even listen to that. There's C7. Or I could go. So many fun things about the second inversion triad, but that actually is not what lesson I was going to show you guys. But let me just go down here and show you one more. This will be an easy one to end on. I did make sure that in creating this shapes course is I really thought about, like, what are the most accessible licks and shapes that we can use that are really going to help people. And this would be the example of the perfect thing for a beginner or intermediate player is you have a C triad, and then notice that we have the fingerings are always written in. You have this idea of minor third, major third, and the 5th. And we end with the C of whatever key we're in. We end with the root, so my thumb. So we have this. Right? You have. Now when I go to F, I'll do the same thing. I'm going to go to minor third of F. And then C. And then on G, same thing. And you can play it in any octave, it's going to sound good. On G, same thing. Now, the one thing I want you to know is this is almost like an exercise. We're not going to necessarily on our blues improvisation play that the whole time all the way through, right? But what we are doing is we're building up, we're getting muscle memory by being able to play that on any particular key. But then the great thing about all of this is you say, all right, well, I'm going to use this maybe, and then maybe this. And now we can go back to it. see what I'm doing? I'm mixing and matching, and just once you learn these ideas, then you make it your own, right? That's the great thing about all this. And that's kind of why I decided to put those particular shapes in. And let's just go over them a few of them one more time, and then we're going to sign off in about 3 or 4 minutes. All right, we have 6 likes. Thank you guys for the likes that are coming in. And for those of you who are on my email list, I did send a few of these shapes for you guys to practice and have fun with those. And thank you for tuning in. If you are brand new to iMusic Academy, you guys are amazing. And everyone who is so far on this live today is a member of our Blues Academy. And just for fun, anybody who gets this brand new shapes bundle with all of these crazy amounts of material, if you invest in that, I'm not only giving you all of that, but I'm giving you access for 1 month to this awesome community that has all of our blues courses and everything in it. And I think you'll be really happy with what you get. In addition to having online access to all these courses and getting all this material that I just told you about, we also go live 2 times minimum every week going through all of this, and I give you guys a ton of material, but I also go through it with you and make sure you stay focused. You guys know T-Man, Dean, and Peter that we have inside the membership area, we have blues roadmaps. So your blues roadmaps, as you guys know, it might be, all right, today or this week we're working on 3 examples from Blues Volume 1. It might be this. And then we say, it might be this. So then we talk about how do you put those 2 together. And then another thing that we do is inside the membership area, you guys know there are other courses. For instance, the Blues Alternate Bass course. So maybe we're doing... right? You have the Ray Charles kinds of things. There's so much to talk about of the things we do. The most important thing that I can tell you is I want you to experience what it's like to be in our community. We have 22 members in here now, and I'm looking for that next person who wants to invest to be a part of it. And if you get the bundle, you can absolutely try it out. And if it's not for you, then you don't have to stay on. And there's no, like, you have to cancel or anything. No, I'm giving you access, and then you decide if you want to be a part of it. I would encourage everybody to find a community that you enjoy. If it's not iMusic Academy, find somewhere else. But I promise you, at iMusic Academy, everybody is welcome. It does not matter your age or your stage, as in your level of playing. Everybody is welcome, and it is truly a family kind of fun atmosphere. And we go live at least 2 times a week, and it's so much fun. All right, so as we wrap up, let me just give you guys some encouraging words on how to practice. Make sure you're using your metronome. I preach this all the time. I did not do it today because this is more of a just a fun lesson teaching through this brand new PDF and bundle that we have. So go to online-metronome.com, online space metronome in Google, and then up pulls this free metronome. I love having this metronome ready and available because it just lives up in my desktop on the corner, and I shrink the window down a little bit, and that way I can make sure that I'm practicing in time. Practicing in time is so important. So if this is my 100 beats per minute, All right, very nice. So make sure you're using that. You can slow it down as much as you need to, but I love not only practicing with the metronome, which I like to teach, but also I like for you guys to use timers. A little kitchen timer will be great to use, and you just say, all right, I'm going to practice for 5 minutes a day. That's the other thing I love about our community is we go live every Monday minimum. Monday and Thursday we go live, and so they know that there is a lesson at 8:30 they can watch at any time throughout the day. We have people all honestly scattered throughout the world, so different people watching at different times. Several people watch it, the trainings on the replay. But the main thing is there's a accountability of, hey, I want to at least keep in touch with you and know what you're practicing, know what you want to work on. And so that's another really important thing, is that we stay connected. We keep motivating each other. Fun bonus fact, and this team knows that, is we have contributing editors in our community. So, for instance, Ted and Vicky create PDFs all the time. Practice things like this last week we did a rootless voicing because we're doing a jazz series right now, and we've been doing that. I've been sending out jazz things, and I do have some really exciting news coming up soon for our iMusicAcademy about as it relates to jazz. We do everything from Ray Charles to technique to you name it. So these guys help create even PDFs out of our lessons that we have. All right, guys, that's enough for today. On a Saturday, we got snuck in a lesson. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'm hoping that we have at least one more person that'll end up joining us. I always give shout outs to our community members, and so before I do that, I want to make sure that everybody, again, checks your email and you have access. I sent out this PDF. We are going to go over this Shapes PDF this next week, and that's another reason why I'm hoping that somebody else will want to join us and become a member for a month. It's absolutely free if you get the bundle. So you invest in me, and let me invest in you. But here we go. So here are our iMusicAcademy faithful, and I'm very thankful for each one of you. You guys know each one of you are very important to me. So shout out to Dave P, to Dave W, to Claire, to Ian, to Peter, to T-Man, to Charity, to Ted, to Vicky, to Akshay, to Pat, to DJ, to Dean, to Jack, to Paul, to Helga, to Bill, to Gary, to Mike, to Steven, to Hugh, and to George. I love this. I'll keep if we get to where we're doing 100 names, I'll just have to do them quickly, but one person at a time, and I'm happy with that because I do want the right people. I want it to be the right fit for each one of you. And if it's not iMusicAcademy, go find a place that makes you feel good and where you connect with somebody who wants to help you get better at whatever it is you want to get better at. Have a great day, and you guys have 30 seconds to say goodbye to each other, and I will see our team on Monday morning at 8:30 a.m. Have a great day and the rest of your weekend. I'll see you soon.